What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe. I am, had some other stuff going on here, so forgive me for my lack of, all right, very good. Excellent. Looks like we're good to go on my end. Oh, wait a minute. There I am. Clearly I can hear myself. That's good. All right, excellent. So I'm waiting on David. I thought it looked like David was in the, looks like he was trying to get in. I'm not sure if he's in here or not, but I thought I saw him. It says devices not connected. Okay. All right, so I'm going to remove second Donovan because I always... okay, all right, so I guess he jumped back out. And I guess at this point he's going to... There we go. There you go. All right, so I guess he's at some point he's going to jump back in. Let me lower my light here. There we go. There we go. Now I can actually see the screen. So we're looking good. Looking good all over the place. Very good. So it looked like David was in here. He's probably just having a little bit of trouble getting in. But the people's asshole with the $10 super chat, I appreciate that. He says, just paying tuition. Sorry I have to miss class today, Professor. I'll catch the replay. Absolutely. And for those of you guys waiting on the Bachelor, for whatever reason, Sharpe Stream has taken a dump. And Sharpe Stream has taken a dump, and Dev, who usually handles this, is not here to handle it right now. So I'm gonna have to wait until she's available again. But there we go. I was gonna do the like the fancy intro and all the graphics and everything, but because I'm transitioning to not using my AirPods Pros, I forgot. I don't know how to stop the doubled sound, so I'll get that all figured out at a later time. But right now we're just gonna wait. We're just gonna wait on David. And like let me just go ahead and start this off. Actually, let me check my email. Maybe let me make sure that he hasn't contacted me with any sort of oh, yep. New episode. Trying to get my good camera working. It's always finicky with StreamYard. If I can't get it working in a couple of minutes. Can always go with my webcam. Okay, that's cool. All right, so David's just having a little bit of... Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah. David's just having some StreamYard. Always, it is finicky. I will readily attest to that. So the first thing that I want to go ahead and say here, well, I guess I should wait until he's on camera. I don't think it's fair to have these kinds of discussions. I don't think it's fair to have these kinds of discussions for me to, come on here and start talking before he can. But you know what? I think I can repeat this when he comes on camera with me. First of all, this is not. It's not my intent to make David look stupid or foolish, and I don't think that's his intent either. As a matter of fact, he and I have exchanged emails about some land I'm thinking about buying out in Reno, and if I'm not mistaken, I think he's actually out there now in Reno, and we've been exchanging ideas on firearms and things of that nature. So we certainly have that in common. But what this discussion is to do here is to clear up any sort of confusion that we have in terms of our fundamental understanding of the opposite sex. He does things a certain way, and I do things a certain way. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to address the response video he did with the video. We're both going to watch it, and we're both going to respond. Give me 2 seconds, guys. I'm going to run and fill up my water. My mouth is dry today. All right. All right, we're good to go. Okay. But yeah, like I said, it's not my intent to make David look stupid. Now, listen, things might get a little loud. I'm sure this will be a very spirited talk. I expect it to be. That doesn't mean that this doesn't mean that I don't respect him and what he does and what he believes in. I certainly don't have to agree with it. But listen, man, I mean, the guy called into my show the first time. He faced the music. He earned my respect that day. And so I'm going to man, those stairs are rigorous. And so I'm gonna treat him with the same respect that he would treat me. And I would ask you guys to do the same. So let's refrain from the name calling and the this and that. Pardon me. Listen, if you want to do it in the comments, whatever, that's your business. But I'm asking you guys to represent us well. And let's refrain from the name calling. Listen, if you have a strong opinion, that's perfectly fine. Listen, we have people over, right? We have to get the good china out and show that we are capable of being, rational and civil and things of that nature. So, a couple other super chats. Tyler D, $5 says, "Let's go." King Life says, time to see if David is really to become a man tonight. Yes. This is going to be, like I said, this is going to be I think this is going to be a good discussion. And I think, and again, I'm going to have to repeat all of this when David comes on, because I don't want this to be twisted or anything like that. But I think I'm a little over 10 years older than he is. And I don't think his disagreements with me shows that he is somehow stupid or misinformed. I just think it shows a lack of experience. And again, I'm not trying to make him look stupid. I'm not trying to show him up in front of his wife or anything like that. But again, I am going to press him. I am going to push him. I'm going to let him know. I'm going to let him know vehemently what I agree with, what I disagree with. I'm going to make my case, and we can agree to disagree, whatever the case may be. So, all right. King Life says, "Oh snap! I knew you guys would become friends." Yeah, he actually seems like a pretty cool guy, man. I mean, dude, when I move out to Reno, maybe we'll go shoot together, right? And this is actually what happens is dude, I've been in a lot of fist fights, and a lot of times I actually become, not that I'm gonna get in a fist fight with David or anything like that, but a lot of times when you have disagreements with someone, you end up finding common ground. You end up finding that you have a lot more in common than you had originally thought. And so maybe this is one of those times. And I'm gonna address this with David. I think it's gonna be a little bit difficult for us to have an honest conversation. Like the conversation we're gonna have now, I think would be a little different than if we had the same conversation at a cigar bar with no women around. And that is exactly my point. Like you guys all know, I'm in a relationship with Devin. And listen, man, I don't pull any punches. I don't act any differently around her or spare my beliefs just because she's around. I'm not afraid to piss off my woman. I'm not afraid to hurt her feelings. And a lot of guys are. So we're going to see what happens here. So I think he's probably working out the whole webcam thing. Ice Dragon Kid says, "Fix his life, Don." Listen, David's got that's going to be, listen, God, I can't wait till he gets on. That's going to be my first question. David, what are you doing here? Like, David has an awesome life. He's a good-looking dude. He has a pretty wife. He has kids. He lives in Oregon, beautiful family, picturesque, etc., etc. It's like, why are you guys sniffing around here, man? Like, why you guys want to roll them? I mean, this is what we do, right? Like, this is what I do. This isn't really what David and Cassie does. It's just, like I said, man, I find it very telling that he is, oh God, I gotta stop talking, because I don't want to say too much before he gets on, because I want to make sure that we can hear both sides here. So he's still working out the camera issues and everything, and when he comes on, we'll be good to go. Okay. 29 something. Kev is in a college level. Oh, Kevin Samuels actually just called me. Dude, Kevin always, I swear to God, Kevin has the worst timing. It's so funny. He always calls me. He called me at 7:58. He always calls me right before I go on the air. It's hilarious. I think it's because my schedule is a little inconsistent. Shout out to Mr. Locario with the $25 super chat. Mr. Locario, of course. He is one of the esteemed panelists of the 7. Absolutely. All right. Yeah, David West is coming on. He is coming on live, and we are going to talk. Wait, let me just make sure all the sound is correct. Can you guys hear this video?
We'll get to this more later, and if you go watch the videos, you'll see kind of the full context, but I actually...
You guys hear that? Hang on, let me see if I can...
They called into Donovan's show later, but...
Yeah, there we go. I think I mean, I can hear it. I can hear it. Just want to make sure you guys can. Like I said, it's always hit or miss with... Okay, good. God, thank God. It's always hit or miss with Macs, with Apple computers, man. It's always some sort of crazy nonsense that's going on too. So, but like I said, guys, for those of you just joining, this is going to be a discussion. It's probably going to be a spirited discussion, but I'm not trying to make him, and I'm not trying to make him look stupid. I'm not trying to show him up. I'm merely trying to tell him. Oh, looks like he's trying to get in now. Let's see if we have success this time here. It says device is not connected. You know, it's interesting. It looks like he's having the same issue that Myron Gaines used to have when he used to join in. So we'll see what happens here. C-Dub says KS and David would be must see as well. You know what? Hang on a second. Let me shoot him a text and ask him. I'll be like, dude, I'm on the air with David West. Would you like to come on? Because I think that we would, and I don't want to make it like a 2-on-1 type of deal, but Kevin's a very diplomatic individual, so I don't think it would, I don't know. I think David's going to have to use his webcam. He's going to have to use his webcam. Yeah, it's, you know. Big Brandon, TSR Security. Oops. Uh-oh, wait a minute. I hit one of the hot corners. There we go. Now everything is good. We can all see everything again. And now it appears. So now I got this part that I got to. Ay. All right, hang on a second, guys. Jesus. All right, let me check my window. Oh, no, where's my first window capture? Okay, there's the first window capture. Where's my second window capture? There we are. There we go. So let's see here. Let's make this a little smaller. For all of the complaints that I have about Mac computers, man. It's because no. Dude, it was actually still correct. So let me. For all the complaints that I have about Mac computers, man, this is a hoss of a system. It can handle, dude, it can handle anything, man. I can have, dude, real talk, I could have 3-4 streams going at the same time, and it does not skip a beat. It is incredible. Like the kind of, dude, the horsepower this thing has is nothing short of spectacular. So let me share my screen again here. Screen share. I got to turn off that hot corner, man. There we go. All right, cool. Now I can just expand this out. Jeez, man. One little mess up and it all goes away. So we're waiting on David. He's having some problems with his camera, which is, you know, this happens. I remember Myron, like I said, used to have the same issues. There we go. All right, good stuff. Let me see if he emailed me here. See if there's any correspondence. He said, sorry, this is a real pain in the ass. I can't kill whatever is using it. Oh, that's cool. No problem. No problem. Okay, no problem. Okay, no problem. Okay, no problem. You can actually use your phone. I'm going to suggest that he uses his phone because StreamYard actually works very well with the phone. So, yeah, dude. I'm going to tell you what, dude. Like, StreamYard is definitely a pain in the ass. Like, there ain't no doubt about that, dude. Like, it took me a while to get that dialed in. And I'm using StreamYard in conjunction with OBS. That takes all sorts of gymnastics, as you guys can probably imagine. So, oh, is that Kevin in here? Kevin says, however, I would Exodia him. Wow, going way back. Taking it way back. No, Kevin, it's not going to be like that. David's a God, I wish he was I don't want to use too much of a I don't want to fire too many bullets, but David is having to answer for things that his wife is doing. Like it's like his wife is out here running her mouth, going after Kevin Samuels, and he's got to come in and clean up the mess. That's an out-of-pocket wife. So I shot him an email and told him that he could use his phone. To be honest with you, the easiest way to use StreamYard is actually your phone. Believe it or not. Yes, Kevin Samuels is in the house. Kevin Samuels is in the house. I'm not going to be mean to David, guys. I'm not going to be like, hey, no. I'm just going to let him know that your wife is exhibiting the, behavioral prerequisites of someone who is starting to get a little bit bored. Like, this is, oh my God, man. Like, and it sucks because I know she's probably watching, and because she's watching, So Medi Naha with the €5 says, hello, are you, sir? How's Devon's health? Devon's health is just fine. Her mother's, she's got the Rona. She's got the Rona bug. And so she's down in Florida getting that squared away. Yeah, Chris Bogson says StreamYard can be a pain for sure. Yeah, Chris, I know you know all about that. Yeah, I agree with you, Tim. No need for us to double team him. Yeah. Yeah, the Geek Surgeon says, I'm tripping off why David and his wife are in this sphere. Yeah, like it just doesn't. And again, David didn't ask for this. Like everything that, and this is where, and I don't want to be facetious. I don't want to sound condescending. I don't feel sorry for David, but this is where you kind of feel for a guy who's having to go and defend the shit that his wife is saying. Your wife said this, and then she's on camera, and all these people are telling you that you need to check your woman and this and that and the other. It's like she is literally shaming masculine behavior on camera in front of, And I know David is not an idiot. He's not an idiot, man. So, oh, by the way, guys, I guess I should go ahead and tell you guys this. I buried my grandmother today. I told everyone that I was going to do it tomorrow. And the reason why is because the funeral was always going to be today. But the reason why I decided to tell you guys it was going to be tomorrow is because I told you exactly where we were going to be. Oh, there's David. All right, good stuff. Hang on a second. Let me bring him in here. All right, David, you got me?
I do. Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine.
Sorry for the delay. I guess StreamYard does not like any of my cameras for some reason.
Yeah, StreamYard doesn't like any cameras. Yeah, StreamYard doesn't like any cameras. Okay, so people in the chat, can you guys hear David? I'm just gonna get a quick nod of a yes here, and then we'll go ahead and move forward. Yeah, if I can see it, then I know that they can see. And perfect. Okay. All right. Good. Okay, perfect. That's all I needed to hear. Okay, so I guess I want to preface this, David, by saying that I'm not like, this isn't to make, and I think you feel the same way. This isn't to make either one of us look stupid, or, you know, this is a pissing contest or anything like that. I think that the two of us have some fundamental differences in terms of dealing with the opposite sex. And I think a lot of our differences come from our difference in age as well. I guess you're 33, 4, 5?
I'm 30. I'll be 31 in like a month.
Okay, so yeah, so you're a young guy. I'm 43, right? And so there's a solid 12-year difference. So I think it's probably safe to say that I have a lot more experience with you, both good, bad, and ugly with women. That's going to be the position that I'm coming from. So what we're going to do here is, pardon me. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to respond to your response video, and I'll stop it at times, and then we'll break it down, and we'll talk about what's going on here. And listen, I'll go ahead and admit two things right off the bat. Number one, I called you a coward. Clearly you're not a coward. Listen, you've come and faced the music now twice. I am man enough to admit that I was completely wrong about that. I did not think that you had the stones to come on, and here you are now live and in living color for the second time. The second thing I was wrong about is that I called you a male feminist. I'll go ahead and admit that I'm wrong on that. The reason I called you a male feminist is because it appeared that you were placing blame on men for getting sperm jacked. Do you remember that conversation we had?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, yeah. So that's the reason I called you a male feminist. Maybe we don't agree with the tactic there. It's clear you're not a male feminist. So my bad. I was wrong on that.
Sorry, it's a little tough talking here on the phone. What I was going to say is that for me, I think that the biggest disagreement that we have, and that's kind of why I wanted to come on here, it doesn't come down to age or experience or anything like that. It comes down to fundamental worldview issues. I am a theologically conservative Orthodox Christian, who believes in a Christian sexual ethic, and you're not. And I think that leads to a lot of confusion and differences.
Okay, all right. What is a Christian sexual ethic?
So the term Christian sexual ethic gets used a lot these days because you have like progressive Christians who are just trying to throw all that to the wind and say it's okay to be gay, it's okay to be trans, sleeping around outside of marriage isn't a big deal. So a Christian sexual ethic is basically going to the Bible and trying to figure out what the Bible actually has to say about sexuality. And I believe that if you read the Bible properly, if you read it with a historical, grammatical hermeneutic, where you're trying to understand what the Bible was meant to mean when it was written, you will find that the Bible encourages monogamy, that it encourages abstinence until marriage, that even lusting would be considered sort of like adultery of the heart, that kind of thing. So that's a Christian sexual ethic.
Okay. And I actually agree with the Christian sexual ethic from a Christian sexual ethic point of view. But we don't live in a Christian sexual ethic world, even with Christians, right? Dude, I believe, David, that there are just as many Christians sleeping around as there are non-Christians sleeping around. And again, no disrespect to your wife, but my guess is that you probably weren't the first guy she ever had sex with. I'm not trying to get into your bedroom life or be disrespectful. I just want to make sure that we point that out.
Well, I mean, that's obviously like objectively true. You know, she had a child before she'd met me, so there's no way around that.
Okay. Right.
But a couple things, and I don't know if you've actually watched my response video, but I do go into that and kind of refute the idea that, she'd been with dozens and dozens of men. That's absurd.
Well, wait a minute. Why do you think that's absurd? Why do you think that's absurd? Did she tell you that she hadn't?
Because I've discussed all this with her. I know
David,
basically
so
all the details of her life.
Listen, I agree. And this is where you and I diverge. And this is where, and I want to be as respectful as possible because, dude, you're a good dude, man. Because if I were you, I would not have come on with a guy like me. So you got bigger stones.
I'm not too worried about it.
Listen, you got bigger stones than I do. But here are the facts. Women are never, ever, ever truthful about their sexual past. You want to know something, David? They're actually smart for doing this because women inherently know that the more sexual experience that a man is aware of, the less valuable, the less attractive they are to a guy. I don't know if you realize this, David. You're a pretty goddamn good-looking guy, dude. Like, how tall are you? 6'3", 6'4"?
I'm like a little over 6 foot.
Yeah, right. I'm 6'2". So, dude, you're a tall, good-looking guy. Dude, you can fix anything, and you're, God, guns, rock and roll. You are that dude. So when Cassie sees a guy like you, and again, this doesn't make her a bad person. It's almost the same way as a guy telling a girl that he's interested in, I've slept with, 900 women. That doesn't make him a bad guy. He's just trying to appear more sexually attractive and sexually viable to women because the more women a man sleeps with, the more attractive he is to women and vice versa. So your wife has absolutely no reason to be truthful with you about the number of people she has been with. Again, that doesn't make her a Jezebel. It just makes her a woman.
Well, and again, I think this is where we're running into the fundamental worldview difference that we have, because I think you made a mistake right out of the gate when you said a woman is never, ever, 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 ever going to be honest about how many people she's been with. Anytime you make something absolute, you're going to be wrong because there will always be exceptions. Fair enough. I think you're forgetting about a huge exception. You're forgetting that there are actual Christians in the world. Now, let me go back to something you said a minute ago. You said there are just as many Christians sleeping around as there are people in the secular world. And to a large degree, I'd agree with you, but I think we do need to define some terms here. When we say Christian, what do we mean? Do we mean grandma went to a Baptist church when I was a kid, so now I'm a Christian, like in a kind of cultural...
You're making a good point. I guess I'll put it like this. Everybody sleeps around, including people who go to church. It doesn't really matter what denomination it is. That's just how it is. Because when it comes down to it, a person's biological and sexual imperative always trumps their religious beliefs, right? Well, actually, not always.
Not always at all.
Okay, well, you know what? And let's go back to this. So no woman is ever going to be honest with you about her sexual experience. Okay, that is not 100%. But I do know this, David. I know that your wife could not have been truthful with you because she was a single mother when you met her.
I don't understand how that means she couldn't be truthful.
Again, the reason why... See, here's the thing. So she already had a kid when she met you. That's to high-value men, and I'm not saying that you're not high value, but to high-value men, this is a strike against her. Like... And again, and this is where, and again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. This is where your lack of experience comes into play, because when it comes down to it, high value men, David, and we actually had, I guess, sort of a debate by proxy about this. High value men don't wife up single moms in their 30s, and I think you named like 25. Okay, good for you, but that doesn't mean that that's the rule. Those are the clear exceptions, if that's even true at all. But your wife had absolutely no reason to be honest with you. She had a kid. She said that she was dumped by some dude who worked at 7-Eleven. So she's a single mom. She got dumped by a dude who worked at 7-Eleven. She was young and hot and impulsive, David. Of course she's going to have some fun. Why in the world would she tell? Why would she tell? And I'm not trying to call her a bad person, but she has no reason to tell you. And to be honest with you, David, she probably doesn't even know what the number is. So I guess no, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just that gives her plausible deniability. She can't. Maybe she knows, maybe she doesn't. But women these days, especially with guys like you, have no reason to be truthful about their sexual experience because they know it makes them less attractive. And your wife knows this. Doesn't make her a bad person. It just makes her a woman.
But see, again, you're showing that you have absolutely no real experience with people who are like active, committed Christians going to serious churches with
so because
an
your wife
emphasis
is an
on
active
good theology.
Christian, she's not capable of being dishonest with you about her past?
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. What I was trying to get to saying is that honesty is a Christian virtue. You know,
I agree.
I think that you think you know what everyone finds desirable, but you don't realize that that's not true for everybody. I mean, even when you look at like how you're defining high value man, how a deeply committed Christian woman defines a high value man, and how just, you know, some random woman off the street defines a high value man can be two very different things.
David? You know what, David? You're right, but guess what? Christian women find you attractive, and guess what? So would secular women. Dude, and I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass here. You're a good-looking dude. You're tall. You're a good man, David. Christian women and non-Christian women would find you. And listen, man, there are many types of high-value men, right? But there is a difference between attraction and arousal. Women, how can I put this? Just because a woman has some sort of religious belief does not mean that does not somehow shut off their feminine carnal desires. It is what it is. Like, that's just how it is. I'm not calling your wife a liar, David. For all I know...
Well, I mean, you basically are.
Okay. Well,
like, let's be real. You totally are.
Then I guess I am. Because, like I said, your wife had no reason... I'm not trying to call your wife names or anything like that, but this is where you and I are going to disagree. I contend that your wife's experience, she was dishonest with you about that. Does that change things? I don't know. But had she been honest with you, and she knows this, if she had told, let me ask you this. Let's say I had a choice between two people, or two women. One woman told you, I've slept with 100 guys. One woman told you she slept with 5 guys. Who's more attractive?
Well, I went over this in the video, actually.
Well,
it depends on a lot of factors. If the woman who's only slept with 5 guys is just kind of a nasty prude who's not particularly pleasant to be around, and she is not particularly religious at all, that probably just means she's only slept with 5 guys because that's just kind of the way her life went. It's incidental. The woman who slept with 100 guys could have come to the earth-shattering realization that she is a sinner and that the only way she's not going to go to hell is if she accepts Jesus as her savior, and she could have repented from that lifestyle. And in that case, I would choose that woman over the woman who's just incidentally only been with a few guys because of her prudish nature. Okay. If a woman has turned from that path and isn't living that anymore, I would choose her. And that's why I think it's a little bit silly that so many people like think, oh, David's just manipulated. He believes these lies. It's like, no. My wife would have no reason to lie to me because she knows that I'm the kind of guy who, hey, you know what? Your past is your past. It's your heart that matters, not your history.
Okay, no. Now, this again is where we diverge. Your history absolutely matters. And I'm not a data or statistical guy, and this might actually work in your favor, believe it or not. But God, I hate bringing up statistics. The statistics overwhelmingly show that the more sexual partners a woman has, the shorter their marriages last. Women who have sex with a woman could have sex with 100 guys and repent. David, guess what? I got news for you. The damage is done. She can be sanctified by the blood of Jesus. Guess what? Her body, her mind, and her soul doesn't automatically wipe that from her memory. Like what's done is done. And as a man, listen, I'm glad for you and your wife. You guys appear to be the exception to, I guess, whatever rule I'm placing upon that. But men, you know what? I guess high-value men who have options. We'll just say that. Men who have options do not, now they'll sleep with women with high body counts, but they do not choose to commit to women with high body counts very often. They just don't.
I mean, I think that you're forgetting that there's guys out there who have options who choose not to sleep around to begin with.
Listen, I agree with, and those guys who choose not to sleep around don't choose women who choose to sleep around. That's just how it is.
I think you'd be surprised.
Okay, all right.
There's actually an entire book of the Bible that's kind of about this.
Right, and I'm sure there is, but and again, I respect the Bible because I guess I kind of I've got the Hail Mary tattooed on my arms here. But just because somebody believes in the Bible does not shut off their biological... Listen, man, I like a woman who looks good. I like a sizable set of breasts. I like a shapely woman. So if I read 1 Timothy 3:23, that's not going to automatically turn off my eyes any more than it's going to stop a woman from lusting after a guy with six-pack abs and movie star looks. That's just how that is. Now, depending upon a woman's weakness, maybe she pursues that guy, maybe she doesn't. All I'm telling you is that just because you're a part of a religion does not turn off your human desires. I guess maybe it makes you a little more aware of them, but that just because you are a Christian doesn't mean you stop becoming a human. Does that make sense to you?
Well, no, of course that's true. You don't stop being a human just because you become a Christian. But this is a lot easier. It's an easy way for someone who is not a Christian to blow this off because, you're not a Christian. Frankly, you don't understand that being saved actually has a transformative effect on someone's life. Like I always tell people, I'm probably like a sociopath saved by grace. Like, it wasn't. It's not by my virtues, my inherent virtues as a human that I hold the like kind of radical libertarian beliefs that I do. It's not by my virtues as a human that I realized that the wars I was engaged in were immoral. It's by the grace of God that I realized those things. The blood of Christ, being saved, has a transformative effect on people. And of course, you're not going to put much stock in that. You're like, oh, well, the Bible is just like a book of guidelines that people read.
No, listen, I actually do put some stock in that because it's funny because new Christians are always the happiest, right? It's almost like finding the red pill. But again, what I'm going to say to you is that, okay, so you're saved and you're sanctified by the blood of Jesus. That does not, and listen, it has a transformative effect. But David, you can't erase the past, man. You don't have one of those Men in Black flashy thingies where blink, all of a sudden you forget about the 600 girls you slept with or the 15 guys. It just doesn't work that way. And when sex has a very different effect on men and women. It affects, oh my goodness, women who have a lot of sex with a lot of guys. Like, this is why 25% of women are either on antidepressants, anti-anxiety meds, or both, because women are not designed to sleep around. David, look around. Women are effing miserable. And you're one of the lucky ones. You don't have a miserable family, but the reason why the dating world is a shit show is because women sport fuck their way through their 20s and expect guys like you to wife them up as a single mother at 32. But then how old was your wife when you met her?
29.
There we go. See? Right there at the epiphany phase, right? How old was her kid?
2.
She was a little cutie. I will definitely give you that. She is a cute freaking kid.
Thank you.
Actually looked, she's actually very, very cute. But here's the thing, man. If you were, because you obviously do well for yourself, and I guess I can't really make this assertion, but in an alternate universe, a man who had more experience. Well, let me ask you this. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. Have you had much experience with girls? Was she your first girlfriend? What's your experience level?
I'd had quite a few girlfriends before that.
Okay.
I'd pursued a lot of women. I talked about it in the video. Okay. I was a virgin, and because I valued that. I'm sure there's guys in the chat that don't believe me, but trust me, I was no incel. It was very much by choice. In fact, there were several times where I had relationships that I was pursuing end because of that, and that's okay.
So you were a virgin when you married your wife.
Yes.
Okay. Again, and dude, good for you, but this is the reason listen, we can discuss and debate these things, but there are certain absolutions that only experience can teach you. You have had sex with only one woman that I know of in your life who had a child with another man. There is absolutely no way, David. There is absolutely no way you could possibly understand the nuance with which, and we're going to watch this video. Can you see the video on the screen?
I can't. Yeah, I can.
Okay. All right.
I have you pulled up on my monitor.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. So I'm going to play this video of you breaking this thing down. I want to do this whole pause kiss thing. And again, I'm not trying to make you look stupid here, but I just want you to understand like what's really happening here. Hold on.
Cassie's husband, Dave, clear that
I'm going to skip
main called into Donovan's show have been as much as these we might have video.
You sound exactly
conflict.
The same. It's funny.
Guys, I do. I'm not that.
And listen, you're obviously not liberal. You're surrounded by an arsenal there, so I think
critical context sake, not a good whatever. So now
trust and belief, just like I told you guys 8 months ago.
You've come over Donovan and
I'll get to it. He's face that said, "Lean, come to me. I am higher value than you."
Okay, so first let's address the fact that Donovan said that I didn't have a Facebook page.
All right,
this would have been stuff. Media, I think, is more like body dumb. It's not accurate. Analysis is really popular on YouTube, but the manosphere eats this stuff up in particular, and I don't get it because it's dumb. It's not accurate, guys. Let's see what was actually going on here. So this is not just a photo. It is a screen grab from a video. That's why it's not particularly high quality. It was from a video that Cassie and I made just a few weeks after we got married called Why People Adore Trump's Muslim Ban and Why It's Bad for All of Us.
Wow.
I'll link to the video down below, but let's just go ahead and watch a little clip here. This is the very end of the video. This was like literally the last couple seconds of the video. We just finished talking, and then I leaned in and gave Cassie a kiss.
Okay, now what's... All
right.
Okay, now what's going to happen here, David? I want you to watch this very closely. You did not ask Cassie to kiss you. She actually told you with her body language. Watch this.
Well, you guys have a great rest of your evening.
Now, see, she's looking at you. Great rest of your day. Now, watch this. Watch.
Bye.
See, she opens her mouth. You get the cue. Oh, that's my cue to go in. And then she stops right there. David, again, I'm not... listen, man, I think you're a good dude, but this is disrespectful behavior. What your woman just did here, and she would never, ever admit this to you, but... what she did is she told you to kiss her without kissing her. Lean in and kiss me. Then when it's the equivalent of giving somebody a high five and then leaving them hanging. Watch how she pauses. It's almost like she's punishing you. Watch this. She's toying with you on camera here, dude. Watch this. She's looking at you like, yeah, you're going to kiss me because I'm sitting here. Now watch.
Bye.
This is actually worse than the picture. Dude, what? David.
Oh boy.
David.
So here, Donovan, here's the thing.
Oh, you're killing me.
Like, I frankly, and this is part of why I wanted to come on here, I think that that a large percentage of your followers are very gullible and fairly socially awkward. And I say that because you have this like idea that if you just say something brashly enough, if you just repeat it enough times and force, let me finish what I'm saying. Okay. If you say it enough times, they'll just take it as gospel. And you do this with the body language thing. You treat it like it's gospel, but there's so many other alternative explanations. She could have been looking at me because she was waiting to see if I had anything else to say. That's probably what happened. I don't know exactly what was going through her head in this video that we made 4 years ago. But it's telling that you went immediately to this video where you can try to kind of control the narrative and keep making body language assertions about what's going on here, instead of the family portrait where our daughter's crying and, oh, I'm leaning in there. Well, yeah, because I was literally running in from behind the camera. Okay, that's a little bit of a harder body language thing for you to undermine. But it shows that this body language shtick that you do, you treat it like it's some kind of hard science. And look, I get that from kind of a pickup artist perspective, knowing a little bit about body language can improve your game. You can, having at least some idea what girls are into and what girls are going to be more fruitful to talk to based on their body language is obviously a useful skill if your intent is just to pick up as many chicks as you can. But you can't act like this body language stuff is this firm, like immoving science that is applicable to every picture, every video, every human interaction, because it just isn't.
Listen. Body language tells the truth, David. People can say whatever. Listen, David, so you're telling me that nothing can be gleaned from just watching someone's body language? You're telling me that body... No,
you can glean things, but you can't glean the absolute truth.
Here's the thing, David. Now let me finish. Now let me finish. When FBI interrogators and police officers are interrogating a suspect, and a suspect says, I didn't kill that person, but their body language is clearly implicating that they're being deceitful. What, do you think they're going to let the guy go home, David? No. Do you think a cop is going to say, well, Officer Sharpe, he did say he didn't kill those people. Then the body language expert comes in and says, listen, look at him. He's looking down and to the left. He's clearly deceptive, etc., etc. They're not going to let that guy go home. They bring in body language. Listen, body language mastery and experts, are here for a reason, because I don't know that you realize this, David. People lie. People don't always tell the truth. And the way to glean the truth from someone who is talking to you is reading their body language. So listen, you just told me she could have been thinking this, she could have been thinking that. David, you don't know for sure, but you're not basing this on anything you see here. I'm basing my opinion on what I see with the body language. She paused before she kissed you to teach you a lesson. Hey, you should have leaned in sooner. That's my assertion.
But okay, but I'm not basing what I'm saying on nothing. I'm basing what I'm saying on knowing my wife. And as far as your example about police goes, I mean, how many times have we seen people who were wrongly convicted because the police had, fingered them as the suspect, they liked them as the suspect, and they just had a hunch and they stuck with it, and next thing you know, an innocent man is convicted. I mean, the police
hold on,
take
David, absolutely right.
The police take lie detector tests seriously. Talk about something that's been thoroughly discredited.
You're right. But there's a difference between a hunch and watching body language. Okay, are there cops out there locking bad guys up because they have a hard on for them? Of course. But that doesn't mean that they all of a sudden throw out body language experts when interrogating a suspect. Okay, so body language tells the story that the mouth doesn't say. They always say a picture is worth 1,000 words. They say this all the time. David, there are silent films for a reason because of body language. And for you to sit here and tell me that, listen, man, this is just, you're calling this basically junk science, and that's not... Oh my God, that's not the phone call I wanted to get right now. For you to call this junk science, I think, and I understand why you would say this, because I'm sitting here telling you that your wife is making you look like an idiot on camera. But let me ask you what you think. Oops! Oh crap! Here we go again. Sorry about that. Damn it! I hit that hot corner in my on my MacBook on my Apple computer, and it always this just means I was a little bit too far to the right. So let me jump in here quickly. Ah, damn it! Give me a second. There we go. Okay, so let me bring this up here again here quickly. So let me ask you what you think, because oh nope, that's not what I want to do there either. I want to bring my screen in there. There we go. So going back to what you said, listen, she could have been waiting for something else to say. Okay, well, let's watch this back. Watch. Actually, you know what? Let's do something even better. Let's watch this with the sound down. And I'm not trying to make you look stupid. I want you to understand that having experience with women, I'm not basing this on junk science, David. I'm basing this on more experience than I care to admit with women and people. This is where our age difference absolutely matters. Watch this. So she just got done talking, right? She's looking at you. Now, I've paused it. She's looking at you, okay? Now, the look on her face, does it look like she wants you to say something else?
Yeah, that's exactly what it looks like. She's waiting to see if I have anything else to say to add to the end of the video.
Okay, very good.
The video that she has no idea how it's going to turn out when she's edited it.
Fair enough. And so she opened her mouth when you didn't open her mouth. When she opened her mouth, that said to you, I need to kiss my wife. That right there. David, listen, man. And look at her eyes when you... wait a minute. Look at her eyes when you lean in. Look at her eyes. Like, she looks like she's almost like, yeah, that's a good boy. Watch this. Look at David. Seriously. Look at her face, man.
Or she's just happy that I'm leaning in. This was like 2 weeks after we got married. Mm-hmm. She could easily just be very happy to be with me. Like, what? Of course you can glean things from body language, but you don't know exactly which things that you're gleaning are accurate.
You're right. This right here, hold on, real quick. Dang it. Come on.
I just got to make a comment real quick. So Kevin Samuel says, a virgin wants to give advice on women. Priceless. Kevin, you're twice divorced. Maybe you shouldn't be giving dating advice.
Now,
just a thought.
Okay, now, David, listen, I'm not going to disrespect you. I'm going to ask you not to disrespect my guest. Kevin, please try to keep it civil. But, and I don't want to sit here and say, well, David is right or Kevin is right. But David, he's right, man. Like, you've only had sex with one woman, so you can't. And I don't think you're trying to give dating advice, but you're just going to have to understand that there are certain, and you want to know something, David? This is actually kind of good, because ignorance can be bliss until, of course, it's not. the stuff that David, I'm gonna tell you what, man, and I've had many, many great experiences with women, but I've had a lot of bad experiences, man. And for every great experience I had with a woman, I had 25 terrible ones. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy, dude. Like this wisdom that I have is born in pain. I have seen and done shit that is gonna stay with me for the rest of my life. That being said, you're very fortunate that you're not gonna have to go through the fire quite yet. But the fact that you so vehemently disagree with what I'm telling you about the body language of a woman who clearly has more sexual experience than you do shows your lack of experience, and that's okay. That doesn't mean you're stupid. This just means that this is just a lack of experience on your part. That's all I'm saying. Okay, all right, we'll move on to the next part. The whole 25-year-old thing where you said that 45-year-olds were not. I don't want to watch that again.
You talk about some evidence that there's promise is so funny.
Okay, so evidence of now. I will apologize to you here. It's wrong of me to tell another man that his wife is looking to cheat. I don't know what's in her heart. I don't know what's in all of that. That being said, David, based on my experience, when a man's wife is poking her nose in things that are sort of outside of the marriage, like this is what I wanted to ask you. David, you have the perfect fucking life. I don't know that you realize this, but you are the outlier, man. You got a beautiful wife, beautiful kids. You guys live in a fucking Christmas card, right? What are you guys doing here? Why did Cassie feel the need to go after Kevin?
Well, I can tell you exactly why we're here. And she went after Kevin. She made the video about that because that was a viral clip that everyone was making reaction videos to.
Fair enough.
But I can speak for exactly why I'm here. When I say what I say, I don't mean any like disrespect at all. There are people in the manosphere that I find extremely obnoxious. I wouldn't consider you one of them. I like you. That's why I said, hey, when you move out to Reno, let's hit the range. Let's hang out and stuff. But I feel like you have a great responsibility to your followers, and I feel like you are kind of you're selling them some bad goods. Yeah, I know that to some extent my life is the exception, but I think that more people could have that exception if they would work on themselves in different ways, if they would change their values, if they would, ideally if they become a Christian, but there's plenty of non-Christians who also have, good traditional happy marriages and stuff.
Sure.
I feel like a lot of people who follow you, from the interactions I've had with them, a disproportionate number of them are very socially awkward, probably even somewhere on the spectrum. And they have a tendency to take things that you say, things that make some sense if you're just looking at like a general guideline for picking up girls, and turn them into these hard, fast rules.
Like what?
And
like what? Give me an example.
Well, like the body language thing, or the virginity thing. I have one guy who's been commenting on my wife and I's videos now, who says he's like a Christian and follows you and some other people in the manosphere. And he was literally saying stuff that I could barely decipher what he even meant, but he was saying stuff like, it's okay if a woman's not a virgin, but she's going to have to work really hard to prove herself to me. And I'm not going to give her a traditional life then I'm going to expect her to work and earn money. And it's like, what? Because he's taken this idea that like, women who aren't virgins can never expect anything good from man. They can never expect a man to treat them as well as he would a woman who wasn't a virgin. I think you would agree that's retarded. But we're talking about some guys here that are borderline retarded that follow you.
Well, hold on. Let's go back, because I actually do agree with some of that. Here's the thing. So let's back up. You said that the reason why guys are awkward and they're bad with women is because their priorities are out of whack and all that. So if a man wants to be successful, he should change his values, be a good man, treat women with respect, and that would increase his odds of success with women.
What I'm saying is that I think that some of your advice works from the like a pickup artist perspective.
Well, what about? Listen, I've got a 7-hour audio course, how to build a quality woman from the ground up. So I do talk about long-term relationships. I just released the 49 Laws of Sharpe as well.
And I guess I'm not as familiar with that aspect of your work, but everything I've seen, it seems to be more that you're encouraging just kind of a pickup artistry.
Not at all.
And,
no, not at all. And it's interesting. My show is actually, and it's weird, David. When I first started my show, like episodes, I don't know, like 1 through 250, it was all bitches ain't shit, this and that and a third. But a funny thing happened on my way to the fabled player status. I grew up, David, right? I'm 43 years old. I'm in a long-term relationship of 4 years. My views haven't changed, though, David. My views have not changed. My strategy has changed. I'm not out here picking up girls like I was in Vegas. But the advice that I give men is not just for pickup artistry. It is simply being able to handle women in such a way that does not allow them to take advantage of you. Going back to what you said about aligning your values, changing your values and working on yourself and all that, increasing your chances with women, I agree with that. Here's the problem. That's advice from the 1950s. Just be a good man, a hard day's work, treat women with respect, and you will have a good life. David, look around, man. You know that doesn't work. Like you said it yourself, you're the exception to the rule. You are the good man who actually has a pretty wife and kids. Men who treat women well, who have not earned that treatment, end up shitting on men. And you want to know something? You want to know guys who follow me are angry? It's not that they're following me like some cult. We as men, we all found each other, and what we found is that we're all telling the same stories. We didn't just get together and say, you know what? We're just going to shit on women and we're going to make a manosphere community out of it. No. Dude, men have the same experiences. My wife was fucking her personal trainer. My wife is fucking her boss. My girlfriend is fucking her ex-boyfriend, baby daddy. Story after story, time after time, that's how these communities come together, right? And so guys like myself, who I would imagine have more experience than the average man, what I say clearly makes sense. Guys gravitate to that, and guys are having success with that, not just from a pickup artist standpoint, but in dealing with women. Women don't come ready-made for relationships anymore, David. They got to be trained.
It depends on where you're looking. I think that you'd be very surprised if you were running in like conservative Christian circles, just how many quality women you could find.
I think you would be surprised. I think conservative women Christian conservative women are every bit as promiscuous as secular women.
So how many women have you talked to who are like active members of a church?
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, do you actually have experience with this?
This is what I said. I don't know. Hold on. That's the point. I'm never going to talk to every member of a church. So what you're telling me is that because I haven't talked to every member of every church, then I can't have an opinion on church girls. I can tell you this, David. I fucked a lot of Christian wives. I fucked a lot of Christian girlfriends, David. That's the truth.
Sure, but I would say how,
Hold on, real quick. I'm only one person, but guess what, David? Other men, dude, do a search on the internet. Ask your friends at church, David. Yeah, Christy's sleeping with, not David. Christy's sleeping with Johnny, and this kind of stuff is rampant in the church. Listen, you're too busy being a good husband to know. Maybe it doesn't happen at your church. Maybe you're the exception to the rule in that regard. But I'm telling you right now, if you don't think church girls are getting it in, you are being willfully ignorant.
But I'm not saying that at all. What I've been kind of saying since the beginning is that I think it is a mistake to forget that Christianity is an extremely big tent term.
Okay.
When secular demographics researchers refer to Christianity, they can be referring to anything from Catholics to the most anti-Catholic Protestants there are, to people who are only Christian and that they would say, sure, I'm Christian on a census form. Like, if you look at, if you somehow controlled for actual beliefs, if you looked only at churches that would fall like within kind of historical orthodoxy, you'd rule out a lot of people who call themselves Christians.
Okay. All right.
And I think that you would be surprised by, how much more solid marriages are within those churches than outside of them.
I totally agree. Those are the exceptions to the rule, David. I think you know and understand that, right?
But within those churches, they're not the exception to the rule.
But that's the point, David. How many of those exceptions to the rule churches exist? Yours and maybe 5 more? Listen, man, dude, it sucks that it's like this, man. It fucking sucks. I fucking hate being who the hell I gotta be to keep my woman in line. I really do. And at some point, you're gonna have to learn that lesson at some point or other. I pray to God you never do, man, because it will be a very rude awakening. Because I would never wish, dude, like you're a good dude, man. And if you had ever been through what I've been through, it would fucking break you. It really would. So I really do hope that I hope 10, 15 years from now, we can have the same conversation and you're still vehemently in favor of what you're talking about, because that means that the shit hasn't hit the fan yet. But what it comes down to, David, is I have, dude, let me ask you this. Would you you would say that you would trust someone with more experience, right? Let's say there are two movie directors that you're going to be an apprentice under. This one has directed 5 movies. This guy has directed 45 movies. Well, which one are you going to go to?
I don't think that's a particularly accurate example, because here's what I'll say. Okay. If I wanted marriage advice, I would much rather take it from my pastor or my grandpa, who's also a pastor, who's had sex with one woman and has been married for 40 years, than I would from you, who has more experience with women. So how do we measure experience? I gotta stop you right there,
David. Listen. You're right. I gotta stop you right there. The women from 40 years ago, David, ain't the same way as the women today, fam.
Human nature doesn't change that much. Human nature actually doesn't change at all.
Okay,
in aggregate,
David, human nature. No,
the external factors influencing them do, for sure.
Are you telling me that women today are the same as they were 40 years ago?
I'm saying that human nature today is no different than it was 40 years ago.
But just because human nature hasn't changed doesn't mean that women haven't. Women are not the same.
And you are right about that. We clearly live in a more sexualized
so why would you take advice from
today.
someone who has only slept with one woman from 40 years ago? He's talking about women from 40, one woman he's had experience with from 40 years ago, rather than a degenerate like me who's fucked a bunch of girls, 5-6 years ago. It just doesn't make any sense.
So you're saying that I should listen to relationship advice from you over my pastor?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying, David. And you want to know what? If you did, you wouldn't be here right now putting out your wife's fires, man.
I disagree completely. I think I have a great opportunity here to share my ideology and share the gospel with you guys.
All right. Fair enough, man. Like, you believe in what you believe in. That's fine. Oh, wait, there was one more thing that I was going. Oh, let's address this 45-year-old and 25-year-old thing.
Sure.
So you think that you said that it was bullshit that I think that 25-year-old women are not attracted to 45-year-old guys. You want to elaborate on that?
I don't have too much more to say to that. I don't think that if you talk to any women in the real world, that theory holds up very well.
Any women in the real world?
Yeah, I don't think that your average 25-year-old woman would take a 45-year-old millionaire over even a 28-year-old just with a productive job.
So you're telling me that, okay, so you just took it to the next level here. I didn't expect you to say that. So you are telling me that a 25-year-old girl would choose a 28-year-old with a good job over a 45-year-old millionaire?
Most of the time, yeah, I think so.
Okay. How can I put this? Okay, so here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. And I don't know if I don't know that you've have had this explained to you before. You don't have to agree with this, but I have to tell you this. Every woman, David, has a dualistic sexual imperative. This is actually Rollo Tomasi talking here. This is called alpha fucks, beta bucks, good genes, good dad. So the alpha fuck side are the guys who are physically attractive, devil may care attitude, alpha playboy, sleep with a bunch of girls, may or may not have an illegitimate kid or two running around, square jaw, six-pack abs, all the rest of that. Well, the beta buck side are the guys who are the nice guys, the guys who have stable jobs, 401ks, good credit. Obviously, there are many varying degrees in between, but women know the difference between the men they want to fuck and the men they wouldn't. So here's the way it goes, David. Here's the way it goes. This is the way it goes in 2021. When girls are in their 20s, they sleep with all the bad boy players because they're young and hot. That's the alpha fucks side of the world. Then
but a lot of women don't also.
Say again?
A lot of women don't do that.
No, you're right. A lot of women don't, but more women sleep around in their 20s than women that don't. I can clearly make that assertion.
Well, more people in general do that, at least these days.
Okay, well, guess what? So. No, you're right. More people in general do, but guess what? Sex affects men and women differently. True or false?
That's a tough one.
That means
I
you agree
can't
with
answer
me, but
that
you don't want
without.
to. You agree with me,
I
David.
can't.
Come on.
Well, no, I agree to an extent, but I don't know that I think that. The common thing thrown around in the manosphere is this idea that, like, women who slept around a bunch are now they can't pair bond or whatever.
Hold on. We'll address that. We'll address that in a minute. But we can agree that sex affects men and women differently. Can we agree on that at least?
Sure, everything to some degree.
Okay,
Most things to some degree affect men and women differently.
Right.
But I think this idea that women build up all these problems in their life because of how many sexual partners they have and men don't,
David,
I think that's absolutely a lie.
David,
I think that men have tons of problems with having too many sexual partners.
David,
look at the way that porn has negatively affected people. Porn practically rewires people's brains.
Yeah.
It gives them ridiculous expectations.
Absolutely.
It makes it harder for them to have committed relationships.
Absolutely.
So sex can absolutely have very, very negative detrimental effects.
Yes, but guess what, David?
Well.
No, guess what, David? There's a difference between porn and sex, my friend. Big difference. Porn is watching sex. Sex is having sex. Huge difference. A man jerking off to porn is not the same as a woman sleeping around with a bunch of guys. Not the same. Okay, so here's how it goes. Listen,
sure,
here's how it goes. A lot of girls, more women sleep around in their 20s than women that do not. They sleep with all the bad boy players because they're hot, right? When the bad boys start losing interest, it becomes clear to them that their looks are fading. Doesn't mean they can't score a one-night stand with one of these guys or even maybe a long-term relationship with a man who doesn't have quite as much experience, right? So they try to lock down the bad boy players, but the bad boy players want the 22-year-old version of her, not the 32-year-old version. So now she's realizing that she's got to lock down one of these guys. And even if she did lock down one of these bad boys, she knows the relationship would be short-lived, infidelity and all that. She settles down with the stable, nice guy who drives the Honda Accord, has a good job, 401k, good credit, mortgage. That's the beta bucks. That is today. Here's the thing, David. Back in the day, men used to fulfill both sides. Men used to be alpha guys and gentlemen. But
they can still do that.
Say again?
And men can still do that.
They can, David. But I mean, if they do that with women, they get punished for it. Like, dude, the better you treat today's women, the worse they treat you, man.
Maybe if you're chasing the wrong kind of women, I guess.
Oh no! Did you just okay? Maybe if you're chasing the wrong kinds of women, right? Guess what, David? This is where this community exists. A lot of people say, "Who hurt you? You're chasing the wrong kind of women." David, there are, millions of men who have the same stories. This girl said this. This girl said that. They start. Oh my God, my girl. Listen, dude. When it comes down to it, millions of men can't be lying. We're not on here talking shit about women just because we're making stuff up. These stories don't just come from nothing. And the things that I teach men, I'm not a snake oil salesman. I don't know that you realize that, but what I teach is based on personal experience. What I tell is the truth. Now, you can either choose to believe it or choose not to believe it, but at least listen, nobody can say that I didn't tell you.
I think we should let's go on and watch a little bit more of this video because I'd like to hear your thoughts on some more parts of it. Like, okay. Since we've been talking about the body language, I don't want to get too derailed from there.
Yeah,
but
obviously you're not going to give credence to that, but that's okay. It is.
That I leaned forward. I asked her to
him. Yeah. Right now, this is something. This is
away.
This is
David and Cassie in their car. The typical picture of a man who loves his wife more than she loves him. He's paying attention to her. She's paying attention to the camera. You can see Cassie's very pretty. She's very attractive. This picture shows that she is more into herself than she is into him. This is another selfie that Cassie took, and you can see Cassie is quite attractive. But David is looking up at her. Cassie is looking down at the camera.
God, David, you're killing me here, dude.
Okay, so I'll be up front and say these are not my favorite pictures.
Well, there you go, David. Right?
Of myself, but these aren't pictures of me looking at her longingly while she's annoying me. These are pictures where I am being a good sport and doing a little selfie photo shoot with my wife.
A good sport, David. A good sport. Translation, a good boy. Why are you letting your wife... You're willingly allowing your wife to look goofy on camera while she's giving kissy faces to the camera. Why would you do this, David? Why?
Because it makes my wife happy. Why wouldn't I do it? I find it weird that like you guys seem to have this idea that like it's almost like it's bad to do things that make women happy.
No,
like
no,
you
not
just have to subjugate them.
Listen. You're right. It's not bad to do things to make your wife happy. When it makes you look bad, that's when it's bad, David.
But see, as far as she's concerned, and I know you guys will say, no, she's just playing you. She really wants you to look like a sucker to everybody else. My wife thinks that pictures like this make me look more attractive. If it was up to me, every picture of me that ever existed would be me hiking or shooting a gun or camping and just generally looking surly and stoic.
Well, why isn't it? You want to know?
Because I think it's good to make my wife happy sometimes and to be a good sport for her.
Yeah, but and again, there's nothing wrong with that. But and again, this is actually what Cassie should be doing. She's not supposed to be showing the world that you are attractive, David. She's not supposed to. You want to know what happens if she does? Is all of a sudden now girls are going to start to notice you. This is why she has you on camera calling 18-year-old, she's a child, David.
It's really not, though. I've said that for a long time, long before I met her.
An 18-year-old's not a child, David. An 18-year-old girl is of the age of majority. She can legally sign contracts. She can be tried.
Okay, but I mean, I talked about that in this video. Like, I obviously don't think they're a child in a legal sense. If anything, I think the age of consent should be lower. I think if you're trusted to drive a car, you can make whatever choice
David,
you want.
But David,
it doesn't mean I'm attracted to them.
Hold on. This is my point. Why would you say this on camera if you don't fundamentally believe that? To make my wife happy.
I do fundamentally believe that.
David, listen, you said an 18-year-old. Listen, your wife wants everyone to know that you think dating young 18-year-olds is pervy. This is on purpose. Listen, this doesn't make her bad, but she's not supposed to be touting you. Look at my hot husband, because girl, you want to know what's happening? Your wife, believe it or not, David, you're starting to become better looking than your wife. Like, do you realize that in 5 years you're going to look better than she does? Do you realize this? I'll bet you I know who does. She realizes it. And what she's doing now is she's laying the ground. She's like, all right, David's a good looking dude, so let me do as much as I can to not, I'm not trying to say that she's purposely making you look bad, but she's not going to post pictures of you hiking through the woods or working on a car or in a muscle shirt. Hell no, that's advertising. She does not want those pictures to get, I'm telling you.
My wife posts pictures that she thinks makes me look good all the time. In fact, it's funny, like even just this shows how off your analysis can be. Like you're acting like, pictures of me hiking and stuff, that makes me look good. I mean, yeah, I think so.
Of course
you think so because you're a man. My wife, when we first met, one of the problems that she had with me that she talked about with her friends all the time was she was like, I feel like all he does is post pictures of himself hiking.
You want to know why that's a problem, David? Because that shows everyone that you're attractive. And she doesn't.
But that's not what she thought. She thought she literally wanted me to look better. She thought I just looked like a dirty redneck all the time, and she wanted me to dress up more and look better.
Doesn't seem to be the case now. She wants you to look like a goofball. Look. Even
she finds that attractive. My wife, every time I ever do something goofy, like if I make a funny voice for our kids or do something that's a little goofier than my typical stoic personality, that's the kind of stuff my wife actually tends to find very attractive.
If she finds this attractive, why isn't she looking at you?
It's a picture. She wants to look good in it. I don't.
So she wants to look good in it, but she wants to make you look silly. Come on.
But David. She doesn't think I look silly. She thinks it's cute that I'm being goofy and fun with her.
Oh, David! David, I need
Donovan, at some point you gotta accept that you don't know this woman and you can't read her mind, and your body language analysis is David, not a hard science.
No, you're right, David. I don't know your wife, and I can't read her mind. But I know this. I know that she has slept with a lot more guys than she told you, and I can tell you that she is. Hold on, listen. Listen. Disagree all you want. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but your wife had no reason to be honest with you about her body count. She had no reason to be honest with you. You're a tall, good-looking.
I had no reason to save myself for marriage. But I did. People do things. When you are a Christian, when you take your faith seriously, you will do things that will not make sense to the rest of the world.
It made sense to me to save yourself. I mean, listen, if I would have had it my way, I'd have saved myself. I would have saved myself for marriage too. That would have made sex a lot better for me. So I agree with that. Here's the problem. Girls don't find that attractive, David. This is why you're looking at us and not looking at you.
What's that?
I said this is why she's looking at us and not looking at you. She's more concerned with the camera, not you. Tell her to, I'll tell you what, David. Tell her to post a video of you hiking or something. Tell her to post a video of you in a muscle shirt and see what she says. Let me ask you one last question, David, because I got to go. I got to and I'm not trying to get out of here, but I got a real important phone call that I really have to make. If you were to ask your wife to unlock her phone and hand it to you right now, do you think she would do it?
We don't even have locks on our phone. We share our phones all the time. Like, it's literally not even a problem.
Chalk one up for the Davester. I did not expect that answer, so you got me on that one.
If anything, I'm the one that keeps her off my phone because she like has a horribly disorganized phone, and she'll screw up all my settings and
all on your phone all the time. David, you want to know why your wife is on your phone all the time? Look at David. Oh my God, David, listen. Listen, if you haven't heard anything I've said, you got to listen to this. Dude, you are about to be on a rocket ship. And dude, you're a good man, so all you're paying attention to is your wife and kids, as you should. Got to be faithful to your wife, got to be a good dad and a good husband. I get that. But David, if you would take like 7 seconds when you guys are at the mall or wherever and just take a quick look around, girls are looking at you.
I talk about this in the video. My wife loves it when girls check me out. We always talk about it whenever they do.
Well, of course, because that's the whole pre-selection thing. But then why do you think she has you on camera talking about 18-year-olds are unattractive?
But she didn't have me on camera. I went on camera to do that myself. I have been an advocate to my friends. My friends who've made the worst relationship choices almost inevitably did it to chase way younger girls. I have been an advocate for chasing age-appropriate women. I mean, look at you. You're not chasing super young girls. You're chasing you're with an age-appropriate woman.
Age-appropriate? Here's the thing. I chased young girls all through Vegas.
And you realize that you'd rather be with a woman who's much closer to your own age.
Well, it depends on what she can do for me, right? It depends on her utility. One of the many reasons I picked Devin is because she is an expert web designer. She knows how to code in 3 different languages. She has 15 years of SEO experience. Yes, she is attractive, but her age knocks her down a few notches. Okay, so she can code, she can do SEO. Okay, let's try to do this thing, and we have built what you see here before us. If Devin didn't know how to do all these things, I would not be with her, David. Like, that's just, listen, I'll date a dumb blonde. I'll date a dumb blonde 18-year-old and deal with that before I deal with what is Devin now, 36? She'll be 37 in just over, less than a month. Than a 37-year-old who doesn't know shit. That's what it comes down to. There is no such thing as age appropriate. Age appropriate is whatever I feel is appropriate of legal age. Men like
okay, but I bet that more often than not, you find yourself having a lot more in common and a lot more to talk about with women closer to your age than with 18, 19, 20-year-olds. So that's what I'm saying. Like, right. I've never said there can't occasionally be times where, like, I don't think it's absolutely, like, unequivocally wrong for a 50-year-old to marry a 25-year-old. I just think that the instances where that is going to lead to a good, lasting marriage are few and far between.
No, I agree with you. I want you to look at
most of your followers don't seem to. And I submit to you that that's because a lot of them are socially awkward, probably somewhere on the spectrum, David, and take what you say as a hard and fast rule.
I thank you not to insult my audience. I know you've taken
it's really not an insult. It's something that I think people need to be aware of and try to work through if they have that issue.
David, you're a virgin, my friend. You married a single mom. I would really, really think twice about calling my audience socially awkward. Like, listen, I appreciate you coming on, but let's call a spade a fucking spade. You fucked one girl in your life, and your girl has fucked more guys than you have. Like, that's
what does that even matter?
No. But that's the reality, David. Like, I'm not trying to be mean or an asshole, but you're not gonna insult my audience. You've had sex with one girl, and you're gonna call my audience, who have been burned and all sorts of things taken advantage of, but you're gonna call them socially awkward because they want to acknowledge the truth about women. Not gonna stand for that. You were how old when you met your wife?
25.
25. And she was how old when you met her?
29.
So your wife is 4 years your senior and a single mother.
Yeah.
And you were a virgin.
And what's wrong with that?
There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. He is David West, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate you coming on. Listen, you face the music. Listen, we got to talk. I plan on coming out there. I don't know how long you're going to be in the Reno area, but I plan on being out there in like April or May. If you're down there, I would actually like.
Well, I only live like 4 hours from there, so I can come down pretty much anytime.
Yeah.
We were just down there last weekend, actually.
Okay, solid. I'm looking at a 5-acre lot just outside of the city limits, so we can go out there and take a look around and do the whole city code ordinance thing.
Nice.
Listen, David, I appreciate this. I gotta go and I gotta save my salvos and all that. David West, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for coming in and facing the music. Hang on a second. Oh boy, now I don't have my picture. Oh yeah. All right, well, listen, man. Like I said, dude, I'll give it to David. He came on and he faced the music, and you know, he took his lumps, and he was he tried to make his points eloquently and things of that nature, but when it comes down to it, man, and I don't want to insult the guy, because I really do think he's a good man. I really do. He's a good dude. He's a solid dude, but he's gonna have to learn this stuff on his own. And it's actually, to be honest with you, man, and I'm not being funny here, guys, I think it's actually, I don't know. I don't want to call it, I think it's still pretty cool that there are a few guys out here who, like, not only, like, he got, dude, there's so much to glean from all this, but he like, ignorance is bliss, man. And he seems blissfully ignorant of what's going on around him. But, and listen, man, the statistics are not in his favor in terms of what could happen, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe things work out. Maybe they do. Statistically, it doesn't look good, but I'm not one to get into statistics or any of that stuff. So let me read out these super chats, and then I gotta go. Wow, holy smokes, man. Black Angus Review says Satan knows the world by heart. LOL. Oh my God. Oh boy. Okay, so ZE says, please, Donovan, Rolo needs to hear this. I don't know that Rolo is interested in coming on my show anymore because of some of the guests I have, but I don't know. I'll reach out to him. Dynasty says, great show. Please put Kevin Samuels on with you guys. Would love to see it. Nah, I don't want to double team him. You know how that goes. David Angus Reviews. Oh, I'm sorry. Black Angus Reviews says Satan knows the world by heart, bro. Says spare us the religious speak, David. Says Big Al. Okay. Jordan Price, $5, says, let's super chat Donovan enough to get Kevin on here, everyone. He debunked David real fast. I want to see it. Medi Naha says, who's the Christian here? Donovan saying female promiscuity is unforgivable. David says a woman's past doesn't matter. Jake, $5, says, David, what book in the Bible talks about being promiscuous is a good quality for a future wife? Don't spew that born-again virgin crap. I'm saved. ZE says, I know KS's blood is boiling with the French. Josh Marengo, 5 British pounds, says, where is your father in this, David? What father would let their son marry a single mother older than them? Oh my God, man. David's a good dude. I really like the guy, and oh man, this is almost like shit, man. Like oh my God, and I don't want to insult the guy by saying, oh, I feel sorry for him, but he's a good dude, man. I like the guy. I really do, man. I know you guys don't, but I like him, man. I think he's a good dude, man. I really do. Jake, $2, says, shout out to Kevin Samuels preaching the truth. Big Al, $2, says, listen to your elders, David. Yes. Texan Viking Havoc, $5, says, how many believe David's wife was into guys like Donovan? Yeah, right. Octavius M, $5, says, Donovan, he has to find the red pill on his own. Yeah, listen, you know what? You want to know something? I broke my own rule, man. I tried to red pill a guy who, guys, this is the perfect example. This is the perfect example. I tell you guys all the time, don't try to red pill your friends. Because I consider David, I consider him a friend. I really do. Because I think he's a good dude. You can't red pill your friends, man. Mexi Mike says, zero hate on David or blue pill ideas or even red pill aware men, but to claim ignorance of her past, forgiveness, Christian-like, but then, yeah. Not to uphold religious practices in marriage, classic matriarchal, opposite of blue pill values principle, classic double standard, women emotional logic, yeah. General Sargency. And guys, listen, man, in the comments, I am respectfully requesting, listen, I know he called you guys socially awkward. I want you to, and you guys have to understand, man, and I'm not trying to be condescending or anything like that. You have to understand that he just has a lack of experience, man. That doesn't mean that he's stupid or that he's somehow retarded, but this is an ego, invest. Like, he is so invested in this with his ego. Yeah, of course he's going to fire back like this. Listen, this is a natural human response, man. You know, just like when people fire at me, I used to fire back, but guys, be kind to him in the comments. Like, you guys have to understand, this is, you know, he doesn't understand yet. And, you know, at least cut him some slack. Cut him some slack. General Sergeant C, $5, says Tom and Jerry is arguably the most famous cartoon ever. And they barely say anything. Yeah, right. Bayou King, $5. Chris says, ran through 304s, joined the church post-wall trap, shelter to simp. Maybe your buddy Jesus Christ will cover the tab in divorce court. It was worse than I thought, man. I didn't realize she was older than he was. Oh, boy. Medinaha, €2 says, he has to suffer and die to wake up to the truth. I hope he doesn't, man, because he's a good dude. I can't say that enough, man. Fred Ward, that's an interesting name. That's an actor's name. $5 says CGA can shed some light on the church. Yeah. Red Pill Mike says David has only had one significant LTR where sexual interaction was involved. This means he is only qualified to give advice on the woman he married, but he is ignorant about women in general. Well, the woman he married, Mike, as you would probably agree, fits into the every woman mold. Like, it's typical. She had, and I don't want to be disrespectful, but Cassie had her fun in her 20s, ended up with a kid. Right before she hits 30, she meets David, who's a virgin, and voila. So, Jay Canella says Kevin needs to pull over and throw this guy a beating. ZE, $5 says Donovan, Kevin, Rolo, and David, same panel needs to happen. That will be a good discourse. That would not be good. That would not be good. Ay, ay, ay. 2 seconds here, guys. Octavia, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. Wow. Hang on, guys. I promise I'm getting to it. Marsky B, $5 says, OMG, David has not seen all the 20-some-year-olds that ride the millionaire carousel. Unfortunately, only experience can change his mind. Yeah, like I don't know. He truly believes that a 25-year-old would forego marrying a 45-year-old millionaire to marry a 28-year-old with a good job. Only experience can convince him otherwise. JR, $5 says, I'm looking everywhere. I don't see it. How do you become a member on Sharpe's channel? Do you have to do it on desktop? Someone explain. I think you do have to do it on desktop, JR. I think you do. Mexit Mike said, Diz David's red pill moment, and he's trying to spit it out. Yeah, like you could see his mind working stuff out. Jordan Price, $2 says, we know who wears the pants in her family. Yeah. Thrill Seeker, $5 says, final super chat. I love David because I see that his heart is in the right place. I just hope he can stay cool with Donovan after this. I think he can. Like David's, man, like his heart is in the right place, man. He wants to see the best in women. And I understand that, man. I was him too once, but I was quickly reminded that, and who knows, man, maybe Cassie will spare him and not pull the plug on him, you know? Because she could detonate his life at any time. And like I said, she is showing signs of being bored. I'll tell you what, though. Listen, he can disagree all he wants to. I gave him something to think about. I think that I don't know. I'm not trying to get involved in their marriage. I just hope that he can, I don't know. C-Dub says, David, I married a, quote, good Christian woman, divorced with a child. She was savagely cruel, disrespectful, and made our life in divorce hell. You don't know what you don't know or how deep the rabbit hole goes. Hope you never do. Save your insults. Yeah, I know. You guys have to understand, man. He's, listen, he's going to fire back. Like, I'm talking about his wife, and, like, I get it. Like, I can understand how he can be a little, I mean, I'm not saying it was right, but I understand. I get it. Chris, $5 says, Donovan, post another pic with him with that 304. See socially awkward. Yeah, right. Texan Viking Havoc, 5-1 says 10-1. She has another dingus. Dynasty $10 says there's $10 for David's simp fund. Hopefully this helps somewhat with his future court fees. Oh God, don't be hard on him, guys. Like he came on and oh God, Jesus Christ, did he pick the wrong dude? And I tried to be civil with him. Mexi Mike says men are here to learn. And beef between creators is unfortunate because we all appreciate and thank every creator for the knowledge we didn't get from men in our life. Yeah, right. Refraction says, I get he is a good dude, but he just insulted me by association as a devotee. Yeah, I know. I understand, guys. I get it. Benny B, $10. Respect to you. Donovan, Nonstop Dre, $365. Said, I've seen many innocent, legit guys like David in the military get taken advantage of by women. The truth will hit him hard when it does. Archie Engineer says the bait and switch is coming too. Yeah, you know, I don't know. Maybe, hopefully he can, but the fact that Cassie is aware that he is in this, that he is talking to me, any changes, any masculine changes he makes in his life is not going to be seen as genuine. She's going to say, okay, well, he said that because Donovan influenced him to say it, and it's not. Oh, man. Listen, Cassie, dude, go easy on him, man. Like, seriously, Cassie, dude, seriously, Cassie, now I'm talking to you, Cassie. You got a good one, sweetheart. Listen, you got a good one. You got a really, really good one. And I got to tell you, man, like, real talk, if you fuck this guy over, you got a problem with me for real, man. Like, for real, for real. Like David is the kind of guy. I hope she doesn't fuck him over, man. I really do. I really do, man. Because he's a good dude, man. And Cassie, dude, Cassie knows what's up. She knows what's up, dude. Like, she's watching this and she's like, dude, just, oh, God. Just, you know, seriously, if she fucks this guy over, man, I'm going to be really pissed. I really am, dude. I really am. Because David's a good dude, man. And I'm just, hopefully this discourse will sort of maybe change the behavior, right? So if she ends up, like, if she wants to file for divorce or whatever the case may be, well, she can't blow up the marriage now because then Donovan's right? So maybe she keeps up the fantasy for no other reason but to show that I was wrong. Maybe she can keep David in his bubble. That, to me, that better be the worst case scenario. Cassie better not fuck this kid over. If she fucks him over, dude, I'm serious, dude. If she fucks David over, man, dude, oh my goodness, dude, I will, dude, I'll do a whole video series on that, man. I will do a whole freaking video series on that, and I will help him pick up the pieces too, man. You guys think I'm kidding, man? You guys think I'm kidding, dude? And if it happens, I'm not going to broadcast it because I don't want David to feel, you know, like he can't, you know, come to me for, you know, advice or guidance. I don't know that he ever would, but I'm serious, dude. If she fucks this kid over, man, because guys like David don't exist anymore, man. They really don't. They really don't. Most guys are like, dude, fuck women. Women are this and that. This woman had all her fun, was a single mom, and fucking locked down a good one. And now she is starting to show signs of... She better not fuck that kid over, dude. I'm serious, man. She better not. If she does, dude, I'll be pissed. God. Kevin with a few choice text messages for me. Appreciate that, Kev. All right, I'm going to read these last few super chats, and then I'm going to get out of here because I got a very important phone call to make. Mr. Steele Yo Blocks. That's a funny handle. Mr. Steele Yo. What happened to Mr. Steele Yo Girl? I'm Mr. Steele Yo Girl. Steele Yo Blocks. Oh, wait a minute. I lost it. Hang on, guys. I'll get back to it. Oh, there we go. All right. Mr. Steele Yo Blocks says, did you see the Katie Rez video about the red pill? Spit it out. Give it a watch. No, I did not, actually. I'm going to take a screen grab of that and maybe break that down. Thresher777, as the super chats continue to come in, says, Donovan, David's a good guy. You tried. He's going to have to learn on his own. Yeah, and I don't want to insult the guy, man. Well, you're going to learn. You know, I hope he doesn't, man. I really do. I hope. Cassie, seriously. Like, you got a good one, man. Like, if there's any hope for humanity, man, you cannot fuck this kid over. If she fucks him over, dude, I'm going to be fucking Uncle Ram says, we're all here because we were where he currently is now, except we have been burned many times. David, we all hope you don't screw him over. Kevon Slims, $2 says, that was so uncomfortable. Yeah. Chris says, you know you are a simp when Donovan has to ask your wife nicely to not do what's in her 304 heart. What's a 304? Like I keep hearing that. I know that's a Coach Greg Adams term. I don't know what that is. You guys got to tell me. You guys got to tell me. Age of Machines has never seen Donovan tell a woman this stuff. Having a problem with Donovan if she hurts David just means target acquired. Donovan knows his stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna listen, Cassie, sweetheart, sweetie, baby. You don't listen, sweetie. You don't want to come after me. Like you're not. Listen. Many have tried, all have failed. Joy Isabel, H is the letter H, Lisa Faye, they all tried and failed. So Cassie, listen, man, I'm the wrong, and I say this with the kindest of hearts, I'm the wrong guy to fuck with. And the only reason why I would go easy on you is because of David. I like David. So just stand pat, stay in your place. You don't want to come after me. Just it's not something you want to do. It's not something you want to do. Christopher Rice says he doesn't know what he doesn't know. Yeah. Tyler D, $5 says this is why we don't try to red pill our friends unless they ask for advice. Yeah, that's it, man. Like I consider David a friend now, man. Because we're gonna go shooting, man. We are gonna go shooting. I don't know that no word on if Cassie's gonna be there or not. But we're gonna go shooting, man. And if Cassie thinks that I'm just going to all of a sudden change if she's in my presence, oh no. Listen, they're going to find out very quickly. I'm the same dude on and off the camera. Mr. Ed, $10. God, you guys are killing me. Thank you for the super chats. I appreciate that. Mr. Ed says, David is a great guy. Lucky. We should hope that we get his defense of her is well placed. We don't know them, him, or her. David has been fortunate to not have to have gone through what we have been. Yeah, man. I hope he doesn't. Listen, I hope on his deathbed he can be like, you know what? Fuck you, Donovan. I was right. I ended up having a great life. You know what? I will gladly say, you know what, David? You're right. Dude, I'll take the L for David. Like, I'm being serious. If in 15 years him and Cassie are still together and he makes a hit piece, hey, you know what? Hey, listen, man. I was wrong about you, bro. Like, I was wrong about you and your wife. You got me. Oh, so that's what a 305. I got it. 304 is the calculator upside down. Dude, I swear to God, Coach Greg Adams is a fucking genius, man. Mr. Steelio Blocks, $5 Canadian says, my name is a crypto thing. Oh, I'm a crypto miner. If you want to know anything about it, I'm your guy. Hit me up. Dude, I've heard that you need to do that shit in like the North Pole because you're like going to melt your whole computer and shit, right? Wow. Okay. Well, guys, listen, this was a fantastic discussion. Listen, many thanks to David for coming on here and having it out with me. I'm not an easy guy to talk to. You know, listen, he's now done it twice. Like I said, we disagree fundamentally, but I still consider him to be a friend. I really do, and I mean that from the heart. And I look forward to, you know, hopefully, you know, helping him with hopefully he can help me with my shooting. Maybe I can be a positive influence on him in other ways. I don't know. We'll see. But that's going to do it. Oh, wait a minute. You guys are still super chatting. Hang on. Mr. Ed, $5, says, got to give dude credit for having the balls to stand up for his beliefs and for his women and lions. And hey, listen, man, whether you guys agree or we can call him whatever we want, say he's misguided. The son of a bitch stood up. Like, dude, there are a lot of guys who would never, ever come on and do this with me. They never, ever would, but he did it. Thrill Seeker, $10 says, because underneath that a-hole exterior, you're really just a good dude, Donovan. All right, there you guys go. Shh, don't tell anybody. Kevin actually had a really good comment earlier. Hang on. Said, I've seen this situation so many times with virgin men and baby mamas, it never ends well. Grew up in the church, so miss me with the virtue signaling. She is who she is, and it showed in those videos. She needs to quit sniffing around, man. Hashim Nichols is right. She will break him. She'll break him, dude. I'm telling you, Cassie better not fuck this dude over, man. If she does, I'm Team David. She fucks this dude over in any way. Like, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Dude, I'll do a 1 month freaking hit piece on her. You better listen, seriously, man. Don't you fucking break this kid, Cassie. I'm serious, man. Like, you got a good dude. You need to do right by him. I'm serious. I'm dead fucking serious. All right, guys, I gotta go because I gotta make this phone call. I will see you guys tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Friday? Yes, tomorrow is Friday. I'm going to be talking about something that Kevin has talked about before, and I will let you guys know that tomorrow. Keep you guys hanging. Thank you guys very, very much for tuning in. I guess I can do my... Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Thank you guys very, very much for tuning in, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Get thousands of hours of content not found anywhere on patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe. Link in description.